Good morning, folks. It's James with 007's Guide Service. Today we're here at the beautiful Rock Island State Park at the headwaters of Center Hill Lake, Caney Fork River. I've got a special technique I'm going to show you this morning, and to be honest, I've hesitated to go over this. I know a lot of people watch what I do here on the lake, not that I mind, but sometimes when it comes to catching a few extra fish for clients, some of my stuff I try to closely guard. I'm getting over that. Don't shoot me. Anyway, the technique we're going to do today here in this beautiful green water is snap jigging. And later on, as I show you the technique and show you how many different species of fish you can catch doing this, you'll kind of understand. But for the meantime, enjoy this panoramic view of this beautiful scenery. Welcome to God's country. Go Vols. Alright folks, here's the technique, and I'm using a spinning rod. This is one of my custom 007 Guide Service Series rods made by my friend over at Dark Star. I'll link his contact info down below. Basically we're using a regular old jig head. Now I'll pour these at home. This is a 3/8 ounce with a minnow imitation of your choice. You can use a paddle tail or a straight tail. The bait's not really as important as the technique, so I'll make a practice cast here to show you. I'll just throw it out there. I'm going to let it go all the way to the bottom on an open bail. Okay, we're on the bottom now. I'll reel up my slack and I'm just going to do a wrist pop. But I'm keeping my rod tip straight up in the air and letting that bait pendulum back down to the bottom. This is a critical step with snap jigging. If you don't keep your rod tip up high, you'll never feel the bite. And sometimes you'll feel the tick. A lot of times it'll just be mush, or you'll feel a little downward pressure on the rod as it pendulums. But we're just pop, let it pendulum back to the bottom, pop, pendulum back to the bottom. And I'll do this all the way back to the boat. And a lot of times we'll find that a fish will follow this jig head minnow almost all the way to the trolling motor before it bites. So we're going to ease up here to where I'm going to be fishing. You follow along and watch me. Okay, it's on the bottom. We're going to pop, let it pendulum, pop, let it pendulum, reel up the slack, pop. It's a simple technique. I do have a lot of trouble with people in the boat, especially clients when I'm trying to teach this. I always think that I explain it clearly. Maybe I don't. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. This is the main reason why I went with these super sensitive, these are extra fast tip rods. There's always a risk of breaking the tip, I understand. But this is exactly why I went with super sensitive rods. Sometimes I'll give it a double pop. Just try to imagine a minnow. He's on the bottom. He's not doing so good. Maybe he got hit by a fish. He flutters up. Maybe he'll flutter up again and then falls right back down. That's what we're imitating here. What you don't want to do is this. See all that slack I created in my line? You don't want to be making these real huge high jerks. Think about it, bait fish don't dart that high off the bottom. You're always trying to imitate what a fish normally eats. So keep that in mind with any technique you're using, especially this one. This little short pops. Fish on. That didn't take very long, did it? Alright, as you can see, the technique works. He's not a giant. How's that look? Little Kentucky bass. We'll let him go. As you can see, it works. It works just as good on 5 and 6 pounders. Alright, I'll check my jig head. Also, too, if you've seen my video on how to tie the loop knot, hopefully you can see there it is.